Let's get to the tactical board now, and let's talk about Nigeria versus Angola. Really tight game. Angola hitting the upright once, also denied at point-blank range early in the game. Nigeria, though, did not have a lot of chances, but they were super efficient, depicted in that sequence where Ademola Lookman finished off that chance. Coach is on the board. Coach, let's talk about this particular goal and what exactly is going on in this particular scenario.
It came down to this. We've gotten to the knockout stages of the tournament where it's about the fine margins. If you don't do your things well, you get punished and you wouldn't have enough time or any time at all to make sure you restore parity. Now, if I play this, I'll play it and let it go, and then I'll highlight 3 moments.
Yeah.
3 moments. Okay, so it is going. This is to get everybody to look at it again before I start highlighting my moment. Everybody watch this. If you are a fullback or if you are any defender, the basic principles of defending is simple. Make sure at all times you stay on your feet. I believe if I'm to do the tactical analysis of how Angola considered this goal, this is the defender I am blaming all day. I'm blaming this particular defender here. This one. The one who, this guy. The question is, if you look at where the ball is, this is the movement of the ball. The ball clearly is moving this way. Why him and Simon, who's got very good advantage on the ball, clearly is the defender. Why did he go down? He's the best person to explain that. If I'm his manager, just after that move, I take him off. Because look, you see, there are basic principles.
You don't dive into a tackle like that. You don't.
And once you go down, you should make sure you touch the ball. Now, if I roll this again, why did he do that? Now, stop it again. Once we stop, look at the huge gap he has created. By going down, he's put this player, sorry, let me go back here. He's put this player and this player in an uncomfortable situation. Now look at the movement of Victor Osimhen. Osimhen clearly knew that Simon has got acres of space in front of him. So what he needed to do now is to attack this very area here. And by so doing, the 2 defenders are aware that Osimhen have seen the gap, so he was going to attack it. So if I roll this, as Osimhen go, look at, they are watching Osimhen. Let me pause it again. I'm pausing it because of the intelligent movement of this time, not only Osimhen again, but Ademola Lookman. Look at Lookman. Look at the gap there. He clearly...
And actually, even before you go on, he was indicating when Simon was coming all the way that
I am the better option.
I'm going into the
better
space.
Option. I'm the better option. And for me, if you're a young player, because we are just trying to explain the tactical movement, if we had gone back further, you would have seen the intelligent movement of Ademola Lookman. He was somewhere around this area, and his movement took him straight into the box. Not wide, but diagonally into the space. And he knew that once Simon executed the pass, all he needed to do was to hit the target. And he just didn't try to hit the target. He knows the goalkeeper will be following the ball. So again, like we normally say, return the ball back to where it came from. Because naturally, the goalkeeper, as you see, will move, then put it on his blunt side, bang into the back of the net. So 3 very important tactical advice. If you are a defender on a 1v1 situation, please do not go down. Look, John Terry, Carvalho, Sergio Ramos, Ferdinand, Vidic, Maldini. These are Chiellini. Have you ever seen Chiellini go down? No. Barely. They would normally stay on their feet. Because it is when, if this defender had stayed on his feet, what would he have done? He would have pushed Simon further and further away from goal onto the touchline, which gives him an absolute advantage. I've always been saying something that if you're a defender on the touchline, you always have the advantage because the striker or the forward player having the ball can only navigate 180 degrees. If he goes beyond that, he naturally takes the ball outside for a throw-in. So again, the Angolan defender who dived into the tackle was the reason why they lost the game. And credit must be given to the Super Eagles. At this stage, you make a mistake, you get punished. That is the level of the game.
I loved particularly Lookman's movement because it might look easy, but you need to really arrive at the perfect time at the perfect moment to actually make that goal happen.
And look, and another thing that made it even more beautiful, he struck the ball
with his weaker foot.
With his weaker foot.
Yep.
That is the technicality.
Yep.
That is how technically good Ademola Lookman is. And look, he's had a wonderful tournament.
He has.
It's like since they got to the knockout stage, or when
He's
they needed
raised
the
his
player
game.
to step up in that round of 16 in this game, he stepped up. He's got this very telepathic understanding with Simons and Osimhen, and they are working together as a unit. And that is what, as a coach, you can only ask for from your front men.
Coach, not to cut you, but you know, if you look at this sequence, you realize that in the first error by the defender for
the one who dived into the tackle.
So you go past it. In this current situation, don't you feel that the Angolan defense could have been better in this situation? Because you could see there are 4 Angolan defenders here.
Yes, you see, there were 4, but the fact of the matter is, only these two are behind the ball.
Sure.
All these guys you see here, they are non-existent. Because they are all in front of the ball. So, for the fact, and look at the movement of Lookman. Lookman had the beating of these two already. And if you look at the position of these two here, they couldn't have occupied the gap here. So it was about Simon picking the right pass into the right area.
I think Dennis is asking this because, this is a frozen picture. And so it gives you
a different kind of
a different perspective to see what could have been.
If you move it along, they were all in front of the ball.
In real time, everything happens very quickly.
And then you get punished. So good goal by the Nigerians. If you're a defender, stay on your feet. Basic defensive principle.
Big advice from coach there. Stay on your feet as a defender. Let me talk to Dennis real quick on the Super Eagles and what you've liked about what they've done, especially in this knockout phase. This was really smash and grab. Not the prettiest of football. No. In the end, they got the job done.
Yeah. You know, if I try to go back to last week, I did say, I think you asked me about whether you thought Angola could do could edge them out. And I said that, yes, I thought Angola had what it took. But then I did mention that Nigeria had experience. And I felt that when it mattered most in the knockout round, I felt that Nigeria could edge it. And they did exactly that. But I think that I'll give credit to Jose Peseiro. I think he did. I feel he actually watched this Angolan side and mapped out a strategy for them. And that's what happened. When you watch the game, I know coach may give a tactical perspective, but I realized that in this particular game, he went for with the 3-back and tried to have a congested midfield. So then what happened is that he managed to stifle.
They played a 3-5-2 actually.
So he managed to stifle Gelson Dalla. There was no Mambulu.
Basically, they were non-existent in the game. We
couldn't find Freddie anywhere. So you watch the game, and I asked myself, is this the same Angola side you watched some few weeks ago? But it's just strategy. And I think that kind of fluidity up front helped them because they managed to stifle them in midfield, but it was down to what Nigeria could do. And that is what they actually did because the mobility of Simon, the mobility of Osimhen, the mobility of the third striker up front? Ademola Lookman was something that they just couldn't handle. And I felt Onyeka and Iwobi did a lot of work in midfield. And you see, there's one thing I want to highlight, that we talk about the tactical dispensation of the coach, why I feel that Jose Peseiro did a good job, but I feel that give credit to these Nigerian players. I think they showed desire. Because if you see the number of times Lookman went tracked back, look at the number of times Iwobi worked hard. This is a team that wanted to win something. They wanted to win the game. They actually accepted the fact that Angola was a decent side. They knew how to play the ball better. So what did they do? They tried not to give them too much time on the ball. And that is what worked for them. And I feel credit to the coach. He got the strategy spot on. People say that Victor Osimhen doesn't seem to be scoring goals. But what I've realized is that he's occupying the opposing defenders.
His work has been more valuable than scoring goals. I love that you are highlighting this fact because, look, it's very easy to have a very talented team in terms of names on the pitch, names on the paper, but it will get onto the pitch and everybody's playing for themselves. Nobody's playing for it. But like you're saying, Osimhen has not cared about not being the guy scoring the goals.
It's about Nigeria, and he's a proper number 9. And number 9 who is not only eager to put the ball in the back of the net, but he's also ready to work for his teammates in and around him to benefit from his effort. He's putting his body on the line. He's even hustling the defenders than they are even hustling him. And for me, Osimhen is that type of forward striker who reminds me of Didier Drogba. Yes, you are there to tackle, but he's also going to make sure you also do the job. And for me, look, his all-round play has been absolutely brilliant, especially in their last 2 games. He's been super good.
Yeah. Victor Osimhen really doing God's work for Nigeria there. Let's just roll the DRC versus Guinea highlights very briefly. We'll touch on it and then we'll go to the South Africa game. So let's just have those highlights from DRC and Guinea while we discuss that game. Coach, let me just stay with you on that one. DRC winning by 3-1, showing their quality. They are through to the semi-finals as well. They've scored from free kicks. They've scored from wing play. They've really shown us like a full array of what they can do as a team.
You see, there's one thing I have learned from them. Maybe when required to build up into putting the ball in the back of the net, they are not good at that. Rather, they are looking at a team that is going to always maximize their set pieces and hoping that they'll get the spot kick and then put in the back of the. Apart from that first goal they scored against, was it Zambia, where in my view, I believe that was one of the very best team's goals we have seen, where you've got a proper midfielder understanding the off-the-ball movement, a recycle movement of the striker into his path, passing it across, and somebody just coming in to tap the ball in. They have shown that defensively they are solid. They are also a team that doesn't seem to give too much away in the defensive third. Packing people in the midfield and relying on the workaholic instinct of their forward guys to put pressure on the team whenever they try to transit into their half. Against Guinea, to be honest with you, I was very much concerned about them because of their wasteful nature in front of goal. But look at how they score their goals. From very unlikely sources. Their captain from a set piece, Masuaku, brilliant from a dead ball. And then the last, I think that was the second goal that came from a penalty. Credit must be given to the player who picked the ball far in his half, saw the space, attacked the space, and made sure he got the penalty for his side. What they have as an advantage, I think they will be playing Côte d'Ivoire. Is the fact that the Ivorians will not bully them physically. Defensively, they look a better team than Côte d'Ivoire. But the Côte d'Ivoire team too are showing that, look, when the stage is high, they understood that they were half dead.
They played over 70 minutes with 1 man down.
Maybe they were in a coma. Half dead, but not dead.
We'll come to Côte d'Ivoire. I'll come to them in a bit. So we